At Southern Sin bombshell, tonight. The teen found dead on a Carnival cruise ship has been ruled a homicide.
The FBI and medical examiner have yet to confirm the details in the investigation into Anna Kepner's death, but a bombshell report just came down that is claiming to know how this girl died on a Carnival cruise ship, and it points to this being a murder investigation. Now, this is the video per WSVN in Miami from November 8th when Kepner's body was taken off of the Carnival cruise ship named the Horizon. This video was shot by reporter Sheldon Fox. Kepner, again, just 18 years old, was a high school senior, a varsity cheerleader from Titusville, Florida, which is about 3 hours north of Miami. Kepner was on the cruise ship that launched out of Miami. It was a 6-day cruise with her dad, stepmom, and 2 of her stepmom's biological children, a 9-year-old daughter and a 16-year-old son. And there is a lot of attention now on that 16-year-old because he reportedly shared a stateroom with Anna Kepner. It is being alleged that he was obsessed with his stepsister. Now, here is the timeline that's been laid out of the alleged final days of Kepner's life. So let's go to November 6th, and this was one of the last days on this cruise. Kepner wasn't feeling well, and the Daily Mail says that she was at dinner with her family, and she told her family that she was just gonna go back to her room. Now that brings us to November 7th, the next day. Kepner's family, they got together for breakfast, and Anna didn't show up. It was around 11 o'clock that morning that the Daily Mail says a maid entered Anna's stateroom and made a horrifying discovery. Kepner's body was allegedly found wrapped in a blanket, covered with life jackets, and stuffed under a bed. Now, people aboard the ship say around that time they heard an alert about a medical emergency on deck 8, and people who were staying in staterooms near Kepner's were told that they would need to leave those rooms earlier than originally planned the next day, which is when the ship returned to port. Kepner's body, once back on land, was sent to the medical examiner in Miami on November 8th. Now, it is alleged that Kepner died as the cruise was making its way from Mexico back to South Florida. Now, it is interesting that the medical examiner listed Kepner's death at a very specific time, 11:17 in the morning on November 7th. So that is the day before the ship returns to Miami. The FBI is investigating this case. They have not said much more other than that publicly, but a bombshell report just came down from ABC News citing a source that says that Kepner was allegedly suffocated to death. ABC says that she was put in a, quote, bar hold where an arm is put across her neck. There were reportedly 2 bruises on the side of her neck. ABC is also saying that preliminary investigation does not show any signs of sexual assault, and there are also no signs of drugs or alcohol in her system. All of this is according to ABC News. Now, as far as a suspect, a lot of signs are allegedly pointing to her 16-year-old stepbrother, who she reportedly shared a room with on this cruise.
It's our understanding that because the cruise was in international waters, that the young child, not the 9-year-old, but the 16-year-old was allowed to drink.
This is video per News 6 in Orlando of a custody hearing involving Kepner's stepmom. Her name's Chantel Hudson. She is married to Anna's biological dad. Now, Chantel has been going through custody proceedings with her ex-husband for more than a year, according to court records that we've reviewed. On Thursday, she, her ex, and their attorneys appeared in court in a virtual hearing. And in that hearing, her ex's attorney said, quote, "The older child, who is approximately 16 years of age, is a suspect in the death of the stepchild." Now, that is the first time that the word suspect has been used in this case. Earlier this week, Chantel filed an emergency motion for continuance of hearing on petitioner's motion for contempt and enforcement. In plain terms, she wanted to delay a hearing in this custody case that was scheduled for December 17th. And this case has nothing to do with Anna Kepner's death, at least now directly. This case has been going on for more than a year, but now the death of Anna Kepner, the potential involvement of one of the stepchildren in this case, has brought all of this to the light. Now, the document says the respondent has been advised through discussions with FBI investigators and her attorneys that a criminal case may be initiated against one of the minor children of this instant action. Chantel wanted to push back the hearing because of what the motion describes quote, as an extremely sensitive and severe circumstance that has arisen, and Hudson would not be able to testify at that hearing. According to this motion, the document claims that she might have to plead the fifth. Now, it goes on to say, quote, currently there is an investigation being conducted by the Federal Bureau of Investigation arising out of the sudden death of 18-year-old Anna Kepner, who was found deceased on November 9th, 2025 on a Carnival Cruise. Miss Anna Kepner, the deceased, is the daughter of the respondent's paramour, and the respondent and the minor children of this instant action were all on the cruise ship together, end quote. We do want to note that the document lists that she was found deceased on November 9th because the ship returned to port and Kepner's body was taken to the medical examiner's office on the 8th. We do believe that that is a typo. In the court hearing this week, we saw the attorney for Chantel's ex-husband make some allegations related to what happened on board the ship. The attorney says the 16-year-old stepbrother reportedly was sharing a room with Anna Kepner, and he says that because the ship was in international waters, the 16-year-old boy was allowed to drink alcohol. Now, Chantel's attorney pushed back on that and said that there is surveillance video that shows the stepbrother did not drink on board the ship, and the attorney also said that DCF investigated the case and saw there was no alcohol. Now, we did look up Carnival Cruise Line's rules when it comes to alcohol and minors, and on its website it says that people do need to be 21 years old to drink aboard the ship, no matter where it's located. But back to this hearing. Chantel said that the stepbrother had to be hospitalized, quote, immediately after the incident, and she did not say why. We are talking about her biological son. She also said that her son has a, quote, psychiatrist appointment next month, but she did not elaborate any more on that. Now, the boy who the parents say is a suspect in Kepner's death is now living with one of his mom's relatives. It's been reported that Anna Kepner's stepbrother was allegedly, quote, obsessed with her. This is according to the dad of one of Anna's ex-boyfriends. He spoke to Inside Edition. Quote, she was scared of him because he always carried around a big knife, the man said. And he also said his son once saw the stepbrother go into Kepner's room during a FaceTime call, quote, when she was sleeping and get on top of her. He also went on to say he's like infatuated, attracted to her like crazy. He always wanted to date her. Now, the FBI has not officially said whether the stepbrother is a suspect in Kepner's death. But that stepbrother did reportedly share a stateroom with her during this cruise. Anna's stepmom's custody case involving that 16-year-old will next go before the court on December 5th. News 6 in Orlando reports that the hearing is expected to be 4 hours long, and Kepner's biological dad, who was on the cruise, could testify at that hearing. Now, he's given a couple interviews since the death of his daughter, but nothing since these new developments about how she was allegedly found had been made public. Now, Chantel has made her Facebook page private since the news of these court documents became public this week. But prior to that, she had an ABC News article posted to her feed, which she said would be the only interview that her husband, Anna's dad, was going to do. Now, in that interview, there's a quote that says, quote, when she walked into a room, she would light it up. If you were sad, she'd make you laugh. She would joke around. She'd be the funniest little person in school. A week ago, the Daily Mail also spoke to Anna's dad, Chris Kepner. This appears to be his last interview since the custody case involving his now wife has gone public. He told the Daily Mail, quote, we were there as a family. Everybody was questioned. Everybody came off of that ship. I don't know who they are looking at or what their investigation is. When the Daily Mail posted their report on how Anna's body was found, they said that Anna's dad did not return their calls for comment. Now, I did reach out to Carnival Cruise Lines for a statement. This is what they told us. The death of a guest traveling on the Carnival Horizon voyage that returned to Port Miami on Saturday morning, November 8th, is being investigated by the FBI. Since this is an ongoing matter under the jurisdiction of law enforcement, it is up to the FBI's Miami Public Affairs Office to provide further details. Our focus is on supporting the family of our guest. Now, as the details of an investigation into the death of Anna Kepner have come to light, people continue to honor her life that was taken far too soon. Now, people gathered to celebrate Anna's life on Thursday at a church near her hometown. Kepner's obituary reads, quote, at just 18 years old, she filled the world with laughter, love, and light that reached everyone around her. Her family has said that she had just taken a test with plans to join the military after she graduated high school in May. One day, she hoped to be a police officer in her hometown. But for as much as people are remembering and honoring Anna Kepner, some have said there were signs that were missed, and we'll just have to see what happens in her case as the FBI continues to investigate.
True crime just got darker. Catch the full episode on the link above. Subscribe to at Southern Sin today and hit the notification bell for more live original episodes Wednesdays at 8 p.m.